Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to race number 17 of Season 6 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. I'm Levi McIntyre, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Pocono 400 here at Pocono Raceway, as we're getting set for 20 laps of racing at the Tricky Triangle. Now, schedule change happened. We were originally going to go to Kentucky, but we ran some tests there, and it was just an absolute disaster. We've done some testing here at this version of Pocono, and it seems that we might get some quality racing out of this. But before we take a look at the starting lineup, let's actually take a look at the point standings after the last race, which was Canadian Tire? I'm pretty sure. But beside the points, so the top 10 in points, Rob Evans still leads the points, and actually extended on his points lead as he leads by 19 points over Jessica Shelton. Third is Matt McIntyre, fourth Jonathan Zorling, fifth Cole Deaver, sixth is Dylan Poteet, seventh Trent Dunham, eighth James McLeod, ninth Anthony McCrory, and then 10th is Jake Baskinger. So as far as who was the big winner and the big loser in points, the big winner in points was DJ Curtis, who moved up from 28th to 22nd in points. As far as who was the big loser, well, we had two of them. Both fell 9 spots. Benjamin Miles and Rafael Leduc fell from 17th and 18th in points, respectively. So, not a very good day last time around at Canadian Tire. But with that said, let's get let's take a look at the starting lineup. Starting in the last row is Anthony McCrory and Zachary Fitzwater. Top 10, Matt McIntyre is on the pole for today. Starting next to him is Jake Rogers. Row 2 is Joshua Sekuli, Trent Dunham. Row 3, Carson Gum, James Qualls. Row 4, Dylan Jacobs, Chris Dollarton. And then row 5, Jessica Sheldon and DJ Curtis. With that said, let's get the command to fire engines for the Pocono 400 at Pocono.
Drivers, start your engines!
All 40 drivers now on the racetrack for their one pace lap around here. So, our history with Pocono has been rather unorthodox. Sometimes we get some good racing up at the front, sometimes we get some pretty crazy crashes. And then other times the races haven't been all that good. But we are using a brand new version of Pocono. We're using Pocono 2016 FTF. And I did some testing on here, and from what I gathered, perhaps some really good racing all throughout the field. So we might see probably the best Pocono race in the history of this YouTube channel coming our way. As we're coming off of turn 2, and remember, this track is the Tricky Triangle for a reason, because 3 different turns, and they are all completely different from one another. Turn 1 has a little bit more banking. Turn 2 is much more, I don't know if narrow would be the right word, but it's a shorter corner. And then turn 3 here is perhaps the most flat corner of the racetrack. So they're really going to have to play conservative with the brakes here at this racetrack. So this is going to be quite the race to witness for not only driving ability and how to conserve tires and brakes, but what moves drivers are going to make, and even pit strategy, as, ladies and gentlemen, boogity, 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 let's go racing! multiple passes for the lead on that first lap. Matt McIntyre just did not get going on the start of that race, and now is back to 4th right now on the racetrack. But a lot of drivers already made some pretty big moves to get up through the field. As right now it is Jake Rogers at the point up here at the front of the field in the race lead, and the caution is out. I saw the lights come on. So, must have been an incident that took place, and we'll see who was involved in just a moment. But battle still on for the lead coming to the caution. Trent Dunham, who led the first lap, trying to keep that lead, as Joey Parkhill trying to get up to 2nd. And Trent Dunham is going to lead the first 2 laps of the day. Now let's see who all was involved in whatever happened. It looks like Emmanuel Hardnett, Cody Lamas were the ones that sustained damage. I don't know about Shelley or Norman, but they are off the pace from everyone. But Trent Dunham has the race lead, so we're going to really quick take a look at the replay of what brought the caution out for the first time today here at Pocono. Well, here's a look at what happened. So this all begins going into turn 1. Cole Deaver is going to jump out of line to make it 3 wide, and because Emmanuel Hardnett has to try and give more room to the 8 car, he ends up somewhat forcing the 3 of Michael Norman to kind of go up the hill a little bit. But then again, there wasn't much that Hardnett could do because he was trying to give room to the 8. But watch as the 3 turns down, and just watch this. He just gets right into that quarter panel and just turns the 20 up into the 48 of Cody Lamas, and then they all go up into the outside wall pretty hard, even some hard contact for Emmanuel Hardnett, as other drivers managed to avoid this mess. Although James Shelley barely gets by, he ended up losing out on that because he had to slow up so much to avoid hitting those cars back there. But luckily minor contact, even though they did get the outside wall pretty hard. I think they may be able to continue, but I think they're going to be all off the pace, the 20, the 3, and the 48. But maybe a rivalry has brewed between the 20 and the 3, but we'll see how things go from here on out. But let's go ahead and take you to the restart here at Pocono. So after that first caution, no cars retired out of the race. All 40 cars still out on the racetrack and continuing. However, during that caution, pit strategy happened. Everybody, I think pretty much everybody came into the pits except for the top 3. The top 3 elected to stay out. So perhaps they're banking on a quick caution to come out and hope that they can get into the pits and keep where their spots are. But Dylan Jacobs is the race leader, 2nd is Cole Baker, 3rd Jordan Forbes, and then everyone else behind did come into pit road. So Trent Dunham falls back to 4th, and then Jake Rogers in 5th, Chris Dollarton in 6th, Joshua Sekuli 7th, DJ Curtis 8th, Joey Parkhill 9th, and then Jonathan Zorline in 10th. 11th is Matt McIntyre, 12th is DJ Curtis, 13th Rafael Leduc, 14th Jessica Sheldon, 15th Logan Bradley, 16th Caleb Kilburn, 17th Benjamin Miles, 18th Melissa Alexander, 19th Carson Gum, and then 20th is Jake Baskinger. 21st Dylan Young, 22nd Cole Deaver, 23rd Tim Fiegel, 24th Seth Cole, 25th James McLeod, 26th is Johnny Gardner, 27th Anthony McCrory, 28th Dylan Poteet, 29th Jay Jefferson, 30th is Phil Parker, 31st is Charles Sanford, 32nd Joshua Collard, 33rd Rob Evans, 34th is Zachary Fitzwater, 35th Bradley Zordrager, 36th is Kyle Matthews, 37th James Shelley, 38th Michael Norman, 39th Cody Lamas, and then 40th Emmanuel Hardnett. Green flag is back out here at Pocono, and we still got 14 laps to go in the Pocono 400, and already cars diving low to try and get a little bit of clean air to make moves and battle on for the lead. Cole Baker with a huge run underneath the 78 of Dylan Jacobs, but because he's on much older tires, got a little bit tight through the corner, and that's helping for the cars behind him with fresher tires to try and make moves. Trent Dunham making it 3 wide for the race lead. Oh man. Nearly a wreck right up here at the front. That would have been dangerous. But we managed to get through unscathed. Trent Dunham leads, but here comes Chris Dollarton. As meanwhile, those older tires of the 78, the 18, and the 77 starting to go away as they continue to lose spots. And we got a big wreck on the front stretch. The track is blocked. Cars hitting into each other. The whole track is blocked back there. Hard contact for Joshua Collard, it looks like. I had a gut feeling something like that was going to happen because of the older tires of the 78, the 18, and the 77, and a number of cars sustained big-time damage. The 48 of Cody Lamas involved for the second time. Kyle Matthews has already taken his car over the wall. And then, of course, you have, I believe that was, who was that? Yeah, Joshua Collard, who sustained big-time damage. But Chris Dollarton managed to get through everything with the race lead. But let's take a look and see what brought the caution out for the second time today here at Pocono. So it all starts going into turn 3 here. And yeah, like I said, them older tires of the 78 and the 18 and the 77 wasn't going to last. And these two just did not seem happy with each other, as it looks like who gets into who first in this whole deal. It looks like Cole Baker just ran the 78 up the racetrack, and Joey Parkhill actually got a little piece of it. I don't know if that's going to affect his car or not. And then other cars get minor contact, such as Jonathan Zorling, but he ends up hitting the outside wall pretty hard. And then as that 18 continues to spin, it just ends up blocking the entire racetrack behind, and then cars just start running over each other with nowhere to go. The 51 was up in the air for a split second. But let's see about the 43 of Joshua Collard. Where is he? Oh, he got rear-ended big time, and I'm going to take a guess and say that that might have been Emmanuel Hartnett who got into him. Let's go back and go at the 43 and see who that was that ran him completely over, that ended up getting him involved. No, it was Kyle Matthews. Whammo! Huge hit as the entire racetrack was blocked, and then he got hit hard again, this time by the 48 of Cody Lamas, who was already damaged and off the pace after that first caution. But man, that was about half of the field that was just mangled in that whole thing. And even some cars up here at the front even got some damage, like the 26. Let me look at his car from the onboard shot, and it looks relatively fine, so I think he'll still be able to continue. But let's go ahead and take you to the restart here at Pocono. Well, as a result of that huge crash, we got 6 cars now out of the race, and they include Tim Fiegel, James Shelley, Cody Lamas, Seth Cole, Joshua Collard, and Kyle Matthews. So struggling seasons for cars such as the 43 and the 42 continues. We're down to 34 cars on the racetrack, but I think only about half of them are going to still be up to speed, as Chris Dollarton is the race leader. Second is DJ Curtis. Third is Joey Parkhill. Fourth, Trent Dunham. And then fifth is Caleb Kilburn. Sixth is James Qualls. Seventh, Benjamin Miles. Eighth, Jessica Sheldon. Ninth, Dylan Young. And then 10th is Jake Baskinger. 11th is Jordan Forbes. 12th is Carson Gum. 13th, Logan Bradley. 14th, Johnny Gardner. 15th is Charles Sanford. 16th, Rob Evans. 17th, Jake Rogers. 18th is Zachary Fitzwater. 19th is Phil Parker. And then 20th, Jay Jefferson. 21st, Emmanuel Hartnett. 22nd, Anthony McCrory. 23rd, Jonathan Zorling. 24th is Michael Norman. 25th, Cole Deaver. 26th is Matt McIntyre. 27th, Melissa Alexander. 28th, Dylan Poteet. 29th, Rafael Leduc. 30th, Joshua Sekuli. 31st is James McLeod. 32nd is Bradley Zordrager. 33rd, Dylan Jacobs. And then 34th is Cole Baker. "34 cars still left on the racetrack, but like I said, I'd say only about 50% of those cars are still going to be competitive to battle it out for the win potentially, but it's going to be 9 to go when we cross the line here as the green flag is back out, and we just got past halfway. But already in that first half, 2 major wrecks. Hopefully now with less cars and also half of them being off the pace, we might be able to get away with finishing clean and green the rest of the way. But anyways, DJ Curtis now takes the race lead over as he got an excellent restart jump right there and now takes the point. Trent Dunham, who's been up here pretty much all day long, looking to try and go to the inside going into 2, and it looks like he's going to make it work. Trent Dunham with a huge head of steam on the inside lane off of turn 2. But can he clear the 4 off of turn 3? And meanwhile, new contenders have entered the fray. Caleb Kilburn, who won earlier in the season, and I'm trying to remember where it was he won recently. I want to say Kansas that he won, and he's looking for his second career win. Right now he's there on the inside, but he's leaving a lot of bottom open for James Qualls to make a move on the inside. James Qualls comes into this race 24th in points. He's actually been slowly moving his way back up in the point standings. He just needs to keep getting good finishes like this, and he'll be able to still maybe have a chance at the championship. That is if he starts really getting on a roll in terms of momentum, as well as leading laps or starting in the top 3. But right now, Kilburn in the 99 has the spot, but Qualls now going to the inside. Oh, almost contact between the 70 and the 99. Wow, Qualls kind of ran the 99 up the racetrack, but still manages to come through with the race lead. But perhaps looking in on the inside for the second spot, DJ Curtis trying to make a comeback run up here to the front as he goes by the 99 and now is going to try and get a run on the 70 of Qualls, as meanwhile 3 wide, and they were really right on each other with Carson, Shelton, and Dunham all side by side, but they settle it out to double wide action. While Qualls may have the race lead for now, there's a horde of cars looking behind them that are trying to make a name for themselves or just get more momentum going, as DJ Curtis, still trying to get around the 99 of Caleb Kilburn, finally makes the move work and clears him. Meanwhile, Jessica Shelton was the first car on the inside, now got blocked by the 99 of Caleb Kilburn as the 99's trying to get back up there to challenge for the lead again, as he's got a lower run or a lower line going compared to the 70 of Qualls, and now is right there to his quarter panel. But can he make the move stick in turn 2, the tunnel turn as they call it? So we are seeing some really good racing now up here at the front, despite 2 cautions coming out in this race. And when we cross the line, it will be 5 laps to go. And right now, the 99 of Caleb Kilburn, who actually came into this race 14th in points, fell out of the top 10 gradually over the course of the last couple of races. But he's looking for some momentum on his side, and he's really got it going right now, leading the way. But here comes Qualls to get back up there. Meanwhile, second in points, Jessica Shelton has been trying and trying to get around the 4 of DJ Curtis, but hasn't been successful at doing that, and now she might end up getting passed by Trent Dunham, as here he comes to the inside of the 02 car. And it's going to try and make the move stick. So we got 3 out of the 5 Retro Racing Enterprise cars running up here in the top 10. Qualls now takes the lead back. Sheldon up there in 5th, and then Charles Sanford in the 7th position currently, though that could change. So it looks like everyone on back to Zachary Fitzwater are still all up to speed after everything that has happened. So 19 out of 34 cars still up to speed. Caleb Kilburn still battling with the 70 of James Qualls, but you gotta wonder, the longer these guys battle, the more it's gonna help cars behind them to try and make moves, like DJ Curtis, for example, who's now right on the back bumper of the 99 of Kilburn. And like I stated earlier, DJ Curtis was the biggest mover in the points, moved up 6 spots, currently 22nd in points into this race, but he's looking for his first win of the season. And he's right there behind the 99 as it's now 3 laps to go here at Pocono. And he's got to run on the inside. Can he make it stick is the question. And I think he might, although let's see about the 99, because it does look like at times the outside line does get to carry more speed off the corners. It's also a matter of who you have behind you pushing you in a drafting kind of fashion. As right now it's still almost even, but now it looks like the Ford now clears the 99 for that spot. And it's still battles going on between Qualls and Kilburn, as those two have been battling each other ever since the restart. But, oh, pit stops! Holy cow, pit strategy came to bite cars in the dust. And in fact, a lot of other cars ended up coming in already, but man, only 3 cars up here at the front now. Kilburn has the lead back, but has also got Sheldon and Jordan Forbes, who has been on old tires for so long and is still able to keep up, and now he's battling up here for a potential shot at the win. But you gotta wonder if they're going to catch up to slower cars, and that could really change the complexity of this finish. But you gotta also keep in mind, do these 3 have enough fuel for the rest of the race? Because they are the only ones who have yet to come into the pits since the caution. Oh, Kilburn, he's slow. Is he coming in or not? Yes, all 3 of them are coming in. This race is going to come down to who's going to come out ahead out of all the pit strategy that took place. Holy cow. Pit strategy, fuel mileage coming into play here in the finish as the white flag is getting ready to display, and it is displaying. DJ Curtis was the first one to get out of the pits of the first group of lead lap cars. Can the 99, the 02, and the 77 get out ahead, as there's the 4 coming out of turn 3 right now? They're going to have to really push the pedal to the metal if they're going to be able to stay ahead of the 4 of DJ Curtis. Oh, it is going to be close. But Curtis has got so much more speed, about 20 miles per hour's worth, and now DJ Curtis going to go back around, but Kilburn, because he's got 1 lap fresher tires than the 4, and now is caught up into a slipstream, he might still have a shot at it. Here he comes to the bottom. We're going to witness a great finish here between 2 Fords. And they are relatively even off of turn 2, still side by side, but Kilburn with the advantage running the inside. Contact! The 99 runs the 4 up the track to make sure he gets that spot to himself. What a battle at the end after pit stops, and the checkered flag waves. Caleb Kilburn gets his 2nd career win, and he gets it at Pocono. Arguably best finish of the season. The best last lap drama we've had all season. Everybody had to come to the pits within the final 2 laps. Kilburn tried to get out of the pits as fast as he could, even though he was passed by the 4, but because he had the older tires and was right on the back bumper of the 4 with the drafting, managed to pull out and make the winning move on the inside going into turn 2 here, and then kind of slammed him a little bit on the left front fender to get the advantage. in the middle of turn 3, but congratulations to the 99. But let's look at the rest of the results. DJ Curtis so close to getting his first win of the season, but gets another solid performance in the second position. James Qualls, great run in third. And then how about Jordan Forbes? After all season of not being able to get a top 5 or a top 10, he got it finally here at Pocono as he gets a great run in the fourth position. And then Charles Sanford rounding out the top 5 in the fifth spot. Jessica Shelton with a strong run in the sixth position. Chris Dollarton finishing in seventh. Dylan Young came out of nowhere to get an 8th place run. Trent Dunham, who was one of the dominant cars in the first half of the race, finishing in 9th. And then Carson Gum rounding out the top 10. Then there's the rest of your top 20, your top 30, and then the rest of the field, and then the bottom 5 were James Shelley, Cody Lamas, Seth Cole, Joshua Collard, and Kyle Matthews, with Tim Fiegel being very, very lucky to be able to still get points. But that does it for our coverage here today at Pocono. Next time we return to where it all started this season, Daytona for the Pepsi 400 this Friday. But until then, here are your results, rookie points and regular points heading into Daytona. And this is Levi McIntyre signing off.